The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Oh, baby, are we getting going today? How are you, boys and girls? What's up? Welcome into a Thursday morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're watching episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. My name is Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. The same on Twitter, X at Boston versus the Book, Instagram. How are you? We're streaming on my Instagram as well as replayed on Sports Grid Television each and every single night internationally across the globe on Sports Grid Television, which matters today because we got a really big show. Michael Chiklis is a guy who you guys know. When you see him, he's the actor that when you see him, you go, oh, right, that guy. He's been in so many amazing movies. He's been in so many amazing shows. I thought he had been on BBB before, but I'm not sure that's accurate. He may not have ever been on the show before, but he is coming on today to talk about a new movie that will be in theaters on September the 19th called The Senior. He is playing the role of Mike Flint, who is the oldest college football player of all time. 59 years of age. He played college football. Michael joins us, Dan McDuffie, who is responsible for the greatest night sports fandom of my life. And Dan being friends with my stepfather, went to high school with my stepfather, went to high school with Michael. And somehow I happened to be in Denver at the World Series in Game 4 of the World Series, and we'll tell the story through all of our eyes as to how that went down. But got on the field, partied with the Red Sox. It was in 2007 in Denver, Colorado. John Lester pitched amazing. Game 4. It was an incredible, incredible experience. That is happening today. Chiklis and Dan McDuffie joining us here on the show. Also, DBro will join us. We got him right afterwards. We got a ton of football to get to because we start the NFL in 1 week. Dallas, Philly, 1 week. That is coming up. So we got that coming up here today. It's the last show before the Labor Day break. So no Fight Song Friday tomorrow. So I'll try to sprinkle in some fight songs today because no Fight Song Friday tomorrow. But also we'll do the Cut It Out segment brought to you by Cut Sports here in a couple of seconds. We're going to do that before we talk to Dan and Michael and then DBro. So this is a lot. We got a lot of moving pieces here today. The anxiety level is high. Just going to say that. It's a high anxiety level. But before we do the opening line and before we do Cut It Out and before all of that, I want to say one quick thing. Got a message yesterday from the network. And I never said what network was doing Bet It or Book It. So I don't know if I should say it now. I'm not going to identify the network, but you guys know it's a Vegas-based sports betting network. Okay. They were gracious yesterday. They reached out, they issued an apology, and they told me that the segment will never air again. It's done, that the hosts and the producers have been instructed that Bet It or Book It is not part of their show. They're not going to be doing it any longer. And they said they wanted to pass along their best wishes to Dave, and they know how much we're dealing with at the moment, and they were sorry for being a distraction and to add extra drama into what we are already dealing with. So I wanted to make a public statement about that. I wanted to acknowledge them for being classy. I wanted to acknowledge them for the apology and for reaching out and doing that, because I was disappointed that we had hit Wednesday and we hadn't heard anything yet. That bothered me. I said something publicly that I was not happy about that I was like, man, this happened over the weekend. I talked about it on Monday the clip has been shared and reshared by a lot of people in the industry. I really thought that would get their attention when people started to retweet it and push it. I was like, okay, someone's going to say something, right? Like someone's going to reach out and say like, what happened? And can we work something out? Didn't happen until yesterday, but when it happened, it was extremely gracious and all class. So I wanted to make sure that was said publicly, that we are good. There is no bad blood. It is all copacetic. They apologized. I accepted the apology, and we moved on, and we turned the page, and we're on to other things. So just FYI on that. Very good show that's happening. Okay. So we are going to be doing a lot today. We're going to be moving fast today, just FYI. But we do have a new contest that I want to tell you guys about, and it's part of the opening line. Okay, we've done this before with Splash Sports. We're going to do it differently. Last year, we tried doing a Big Ten Survivor, and it didn't really fly. It was okay. Here comes a new one. It's a Survivor pool, but it's an anytime touchdown Survivor pool with Splash Sports. This is going to be fun because you guys like betting props. So why not get involved with a prop betting Survivor contest, essentially? Anytime touchdown Survivor, all right? To enter this, you're going to go to splashsports.com/BVB, okay? That should get you. You may need to leave the www off. Somebody tried it before and said, hey, if you leave off the www, it works. That link works. But it's up right now. It's live right now. And if that link for some reason isn't working, you can go to the Discord channel, and it's on the Discord channel, and you guys can go ahead and do this. So here's where it's legal. If you're in PA is legal for private leagues with Splash Sports, not public leagues, just FYI. But if you're in any of those states in teal, and most of Canada, by the way, I think everything except Quebec, Splash Sports is legal in Canada except for in the Quebec province. But other than that, you're legal in Splash Sports. It's a $25 entry. It's a winner-take-all format, 5 max entries per person, and it's a rushing or receiving touchdown. It's not a passing touchdown, all right? So you have to actually be the person. You're picking the person that scores. You're going to pick one person to score a touchdown every week, except the first week you're going to pick 2. And then you're going to have an alternate in case that player gets scratched. So they're supposed to play and then they don't play. Your alternate will then be utilized. Your alternate does not get crossed off unless the player is activated and plays. Okay. So like if I pick, hypothetically, like let's say like Joe Mixon was playing, right? And he's questionable. So I pick Joe Mixon and then I pick Derrick Henry. Well, Joe Mixon gets scratched, then Derrick Henry plays, so then Derrick Henry is the guy that gets counted. But if Joe Mixon plays, my Derrick Henry pick is ignored, and it's kept alive, all right? And then that person has to score a touchdown. I decided to do 5 entries because this is going to be hard. If this thing gets to November, I'll be stunned, like absolutely stunned if this thing gets to November. It's going to be a quick one, and it's winner take all, okay? So let's fill this thing up. Let's do this. Let's if you're good at picking anytime touchdowns, this is an opportunity to go ahead and showcase that. Tell your buddies about it. It's a different way, and you can play with the brigade. And look, you can just do one if you want for $25 and just play with it and see how long you can last, and you might take the whole thing down. I don't think we'll fill this thing up. I mean, if we do, that will be great. If we fill it up, it's $11,000. I don't know if we're going to fill it up. Like we haven't filled one of these things yet. I would love to see us fill it up, but I don't know if that's going to happen just given the appetite in the audience that you guys have had for these contests. But it's unique, it's new, and I'll give Splash Sports credit for trying to innovate as much as possible to create new opportunities and new ways of playing these games. And if you're in a state that doesn't have legalized sports betting like Utah, well, this is a way of being a part of it. If you can't come to Vegas or you don't want to spend $1,000 on a Survivor contest, if you're good at picking anytime touchdowns, it's like every other pool, right? If you pick one player, you can't pick that player again. Okay. What if both get scratched? I think you're SOL-ish. I think you got to be more careful on that. Your entry would then be taken down. And that's why I would say you need to have multiple entries. Like I wouldn't just do one entry. I would do multiple entries. So on that, Canada is legal except for Quebec. So if you're in Canada, you can do splash sports and you can enter this and be a part of this. So it's a lot of fun. All right, coolish. Hop on in, be a part of this. It's winner take all. So basically, how many, if you guys fill it up, it's $11,000. Winner take all, take it, $11K. So that's the prize pool if you guys fill it up. But 5 max, so it's $125 if you want to be into this. And it's a different type of survivor pool because it's not picking what game. You can go find whatever game has the highest total on the board, and you can pick which team winds up winning. So, it's a lot of fun. I hope this takes off, but this will be something that we're trying to do here. So it's an anytime survivor contest, anytime touchdown survivor, NFL, obviously, $25 max entry, $5 per entry. It's a rushing and a receiving touchdown only, and it will start on the 7th of September, 10 a.m. Eastern time. What's funny is, and I was laughing at this. So I live in Nevada, obviously. I live in Vegas, but I'm going to be in New Hampshire. So I was like, I'll just go to New England. And no, it's blacked out in New Hampshire as well. So I can't even have Amanda do it for me either. So if you're frustrated by that, I understand. But yes, the link is in the Discord, Seth. Absolutely. You can get in the Discord. If you haven't jumped on the Discord channel before, it's thebbbshow.com. Direct link to jump on the Discord channel to get a link to it if you need it. But I was kind of bummed out about that because I was like, man, at least I'll be in New England tonight and I can go ahead and sign up and that's not going to happen, unfortunately, for me. I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm a little bit bummed out about that, but maybe I'll jump down to Massachusetts and be a part of it. So BVB ATD Survivor is live, $25 entry, winner take all. Why are they blacked out? They're not legalized, Seth. That's why. In those states, unfortunately, they have not been able to be licensed by those states to offer it. So it just depends upon the Gaming Control Board and the commission, the lottery commission, or whoever handles those types of contests in that particular state. So that's why it's blacked out. I wish it wasn't blacked out, but I have no control over who gets blacked out and who doesn't get blacked out. But for right now, that gets blacked out. Once we get our friend Michael Chiklis into the green room, we will rock here and we'll roll. While we wait for Michael, we can get a load of this and we can talk a little bit about, cut and our cut it out segment of the week.
Cut it out. Come on, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Get out.
It's time for the Cut It Out segment of the week. It is brought to you by our friends at Cut, the peer-to-peer social betting platform that's legal in 40 plus states. This is a way of directly betting against your friends or other users. You can basically bet on anything: sports, politics, pop culture, personal bets. You can go to cut.com. That's KUTT.com, or go to their Instagram and X at CutBet. Android and Apple, you can download it. And our Cut It Out story of the week, it's actually not even like a story that is bad. It's just kind of a tip of the hat to Addison, because Addison put this up 2 weeks ago. Will Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift be engaged? Will they announce it before the 1st of September? This is just an example of what is capable with Cut and what you can do. You can do a pop culture thing. If something pops in your brain and you're like, I think this is going to happen, let's go ahead and have our, put up a number, 150, minus 150 on the no, plus 150 on the yes. And let's see if somebody else will take the other side. If you think it's a no, you put the price up, someone on the other side. So that's how Cut works. So if you have something unique this football season, if you have a preseason NFL college football bet that you think is not being a market that's not being offered by a legalized sports book, you can put this up and see if anybody else is going to wind up jumping in and taking the other side. So Addison had it done. I don't know if anybody took the other side. I think they might have, because I think Addison told me he lost that bet. But as Cut said on X, this bet cashes with literally 5 days left on the shot clock. They have all your college football future markets up at the moment. Okay. So if you're looking for a college football market for a price that might be better than what a sports book is offering, you can go to Cut and you can check that out. And Cut can bring potentially to the marketplace a number that's not being offered for either wins, college football championship, to make the college football playoff. Like, download Cut and take a look at what they have. They also have win-loss futures on NFL teams as well. So before the college year kicks off, they do have future markets that you guys can go and sift through and find it like a traditional sports book. But if there's something else that you want to go ahead and offer to the marketplace and say, hey, I think this is unique, let's go ahead and do that. So, that's what, wow, quite a few. Addison, a bunch of people took the other side on you. They may have been on the, could you imagine if they knew? Can you imagine if they knew? Sorry, Addison, too soon. That hurt for you. Sorry. But I mean, it's a good example of how to use Cut, though. That's a great example of the way that the marketplace, you can set a market that no one else is offering, and it works out really well. It works out simple for you guys to be able to do that. So I think if you are looking at it from a big picture perspective, right? If you're looking at it from an innovative perspective, you can create markets in pop culture, in sports, or crossover. You could pick the next thing, Addison, you could do is like, when will they get married? What year or what month will they get married? You can do that, because that's always, I don't know, 1 year, 2 years, or will they get married at all? Yes or no? There's that. You can do that. All right. So I see Chicky in the background. So let's see if we can get him on, but he has to once he's turned his camera on, then we'll be able to bring him up and have a conversation here with them, because I know Dan is here. So he's been patiently waiting. So I do appreciate him hanging out. So once we get the camera on for Michael, we'll pop it on here. If someone hits the yes, could you imagine if Kelsey bet that himself? If he's like, well, yeah, I already know when she's going to announce it. I don't know if I buy the conspiracy theory that they did the podcast on the 13th and she announced on the 26th that was somehow tied, because half of 26 is 13. So that there was some, I don't know if that was just a coincidence or that was actually there or that was done on purpose. It might have been, but you're retiring from the prediction markets. All right. Well, I think Cut appreciated it, and I think it was neat, and it's a cool example of what it can do. So if you guys haven't downloaded Cut, you guys can go ahead and do that today to check it out. It's free to download. It is customizable, and always your payments, all the bets are pre-funded, so nobody can flake on you when they lose, which is obviously a huge deal when it comes to your opportunities to jump in and do that. So once we get the camera up, well, maybe we can just do audio-wise. If I mean, we can do it just with audio, I guess, if we need to, and I can put a picture of Michael up if I need to. Well, let's do this. Let's do live on air. This is always fun when we do live. We always do it live. Dan, I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Let's see if we can hear Michael. We can't do that. Nope, we can't hear Michael yet. All right, so just gonna be me and you for a second. Until we get Michael on here, we can go like this and put you in the big box.
Oh wow!
Wait, look at that. Hold on. I think we figured this out. Hold on.
I had to go to my telephone. I had to use my telephone instead.
There he is.
I had to use my telephone, guys, instead of because my computer's not working. Hold on 1 second. Let me work this out.
Hold on, because I got to bring Michael up here.
There's the man, the myth, the legend.
Let's do that.
Michael Chiklis.
Bald head. What am I doing?
Dan, do you see Michael?
I don't. No, I don't.
I don't either. Hold on. Let's do this, because it's been
us old guys in technology.
No, it's all fine. It works. We can see Michael, but it keeps on dropping on Michael for some reason, and I can't figure out why.
Do you see me and hear me now?
I hear you in the green screen, Michael, but I don't. So can you go back in and come back out? Let me do this, and because I think it's it's working. It is. We just, for some reason, I can't put you on the screen for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Well, it's whatever this particular setup is. I thought it would be a Zoom, but my computer's rejecting it. Now my phone is sort of accepting it. Let me go out and come back.
Yes, do that, please. And then, we should be good because I see
Okay.
you. So this technology only doesn't work when it doesn't want to work. All right, let's do this. Let's do that. We'll remove him and then we'll put him back, have him back up because I see him in the green round. Oh, we can hear him. You guys can hear him.
Yeah,
okay.
we can hear him. Yeah, we can hear him fine.
Well,
So,
I can hear, because sometimes,
Yeah.
what's funny, Dan, is I can hear everything and the audience can't. So it depends upon what goes on the screen for what's being aired. So that once you guys are up on screen, there we go. How are you otherwise until Michael comes back? How are you, Dan?
Hey, I'm great. I'm on Cape Cod.
Are you? Nice.
Labor Day weekend's fast approaching, so I'm beautiful day here. So yeah, things are good.
Before Michael gets here, let's tell the story. When did you meet Michael Chiklis? When did you two first start your relationship?
Michael was a year ahead of me at Andover High. Of course, Matt, we all go back to Andover, right? So
right.
I met him in 9th grade when I when I was just entering Andover High.
Hello.
There he is.
Hello. Well, we'll do this audio. We're going to do this on the audio, Michael, because I'm not going to miss this and I'm not going to waste your time. So
you're not seeing me.
I'm not seeing you, but I'm hearing you, and so is the audience. So that's all that really matters.
That's crazy. What the heck is the problem?
There's a million ways for us to do this, and this is just one of them for us to be able to do this, to have you on. So I want to talk to you about a variety of things, and so to hear you is still good enough. But how are you, Michael, first and foremost?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm happy to be here. I'm so sorry that we're having this issue. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm excited. I'm excited to tell the world about this movie. It's been a long time coming, and hold on one second. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a second. I think I may be finding the situation here. No, that's not it.
That's it. You just flip the camera over.
That's all.
It's well, so then weird because you
hold on. Then you're seeing me.
Oh, wait, there you are.
Boom.
Okay, there it is. I don't know what the problem was, but there it is.
We can see you now.
Well, we don't need to see us. We only need to see you. So this is tremendous for us to be. Oh, we got it. Look at that. We fixed it. Hey!
Oh my God! I'm sweating. I'm in a full freaking sweat. All right, now I can shut this down first. All right, are we good? I can't see you. Here's the other thing: is I can't see you guys now. So
don't worry about that. You can. I think you can
hear us. That's all.
I can hear you.
We can see you. So yes, that was
all right. So let's talk about the senior. First of all, let's talk about us, Dan and you and I, and how this. Danny and I go back to 9th grade. I heard he was telling the audience that we're old pals all through high school and college and beyond.
Big time.
And hey, Tom Brady, be quiet. That's my dog, Tom Brady. Yeah, that's right. My dog's name is Tom Brady. And I don't call him Tom and I don't call him Brady. I call him Tom Brady.
There you go.
Because he's the GOAT.
He's a bull. He is a bull.
He is a little bull.
Michael, as an adult, is it wild that you and Dan are still friends? I mean, I think so. I'm 48. You guys are older than I am, but as we get older in life, I mean, what's that like to have a friend that has been with you for this long?
Well, I think it's the most important thing aside from my wife and my children. It's the most important thing in my life, of my friends, and I'm very fortunate. I have a few friends that I grew up with since I was a kid, Danny and Steve Stabile and Bob Pasquarella, and some of the boys that I've known since, Bobby I've known since I was 8 years old. And I think that it's just a continuity and a it's a trust thing. It's a wonderful thing to have, especially with the complication of celebrity in your life. It's wonderful to know some people way before that who really, I think that my friends, if I don't mean to speak for you, Dan, but I think my friends are happy for my success in the film and television business, but they don't care really about that so much. It's just to them, I'm Chicky, you know what I
We're
mean?
blood, man. We go all the way
Yeah,
back.
we go way back. We're brothers,
And it just turns out that our daughters are like, even though they grew up on separate coasts, are
incredibly are best of friends.
Each other's weddings and the whole bit, Brenner and Autumn. My Brenner, your Autumn.
Yeah, which is incredible because that's not a gimme. That's not like but they're best of friends and remain that. My oldest is 31 years old, and so is Brenna, and they're best of friends. So it's a wonderful thing. You're asking me what it's like. It's something that is my grounding, and something that I know I can call Dan or Bobby or Steve, ask them for the truth in a situation, and discuss it. I'm not a believer in sycophantery. I believe in getting the honest real from people. And it's just beautiful to have some friends that I can rely on that are going to,
brother, big time. Man.
Totally.
Yeah.
So when, all these years ago, what was it, 2007, also you have to make the effort. Dan and I live across the country from each other, right? But you can't take the Boston out of the kid. Right.
We're still massholes at heart, man.
Totally. So as long as I'm here, I'm the annoying Boston fan, right?
Good. That's my role too. Yes.
Absolutely. Now I have my teams out here. If I'm going to live out here for 35 years, which I have been, I root for the Dodgers. They're my number 2 team. They're my National League team. And I could never, can I swear on this?
Yes, you can.
I could never say the words "Go Lakers" in fucking earnest. There's not a fucking planet where that could happen. So if I root for anybody on the basketball side here, it's the Clippers, although that's a little sad. And I can't root for the Rams, but happily the Chargers came up here, so I can root for them. So but they're all my second teams. Let's make no mistake about that. There's just Boston all the way along the line, and they're my teams. And Danny and I, through sports, not just through sports, through family, and twice a year at least, all these years we get together as families. Yep. We go out there, they come out here, we meet at other places, and sometimes we meet at sporting events. And in this particular case, back in 2007, we were like, hey man, the Sox are in it, let's go. And I got us prime seats behind home plate.
Yeah, and game 4 wasn't a gimme, by the way, but man. Right, it was game 4.
Right,
right?
It was game 4, and Dan, you were responsible for. I've told the story on the air. Dan was responsible for the greatest sports fandom night of my life because I happened to be at the game. And
pretty good one.
And Dan said he called me and said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in the second deck." He said, "Get down here. There's 3 outs to go. There's a spare seat. Some Rocky fan left. Get down here and be a part of it." And then it turned into, well, that's incredible. Papelbon goes 1, 2, 3. We, watch him celebrate. And I'll never forget it in my life. I told the story yesterday, Michael. You looked at me and you looked at Michael, or you looked at Dan, and you go, because you had called Kurt Schilling's wife and she said, come down to the field. Yeah. And you looked at the both of us. You said, don't stop for anyone. If anyone stops you, keep walking. And I was like, okay. So we followed you right on the field.
Is that what I said? I don't remember.
Yeah, you pointed right at me and you go,
let's
stop.
Go.
Let's go. And I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we went and we wound up getting on the field. And
look at those pictures, man.
You can't see it, Michael, but it's you and Kurt Schilling. It's you and Derek.
Wow. No shit.
And Francona.
Schill came over and pulled us right from through the netting onto the field. It was crazy. And, the team was in pandemonium on the field. So we got to that rush of celebrating with the team. And I remember when Francona and I Matt, we met on the field, right? And I was wearing the same jacket as him, and we're both bald guys, right?
Yeah.
So he goes,
like brothers.
He goes, man, if they ever do a movie about me, you're gonna play me.
I know, exactly. And look at that. That's Mike Lowell. I'll never forget.
Oh.
That's my memory right up there.
Those are his brothers.
Look at how young you are there, Matt. We're all young.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
But dude, I see Mike Lowell running at me like he's gonna tackle me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden he passes me and he grabs his two brothers, and they just jump on top of each other. It was literally that picture that
awesome.
you took, Matt. Like, I'm the fourth guy in that picture. I'm like, I am 18 inches away from those dudes. I was like
Watching
right there.
he and his brothers just celebrate that they just won the World Series.
We were surrounded. And then I think you got on ESPN with I think it was Josh Beckett.
It was with
Beckett?
Yeah, didn't he start that game? No, it wasn't Beckett.
No, it was Lester. John
It was
Lester.
John Lester.
It was the Fox
Johnny
Sports
Lester.
Yeah, because Fox Sports had it, and it was you and Lester, and you were yelling at all the Red Sox fans while you were being interviewed by Fox.
You're like this.
I was I think decidedly fired up for a reason. I mean, it was sort of like that movie Fever Pitch. Only the only thing is that we had to do it in Colorado, and it was the only thing that would have made it just perfect would have been if it was in Fenway. But we'll take
that.
it.
We did that some years later, though.
Yeah, we did that later in
was
13.
like being in church. That was like being in church.
Yeah, we were in 2013. We did that too. You were with me, Danny.
Yeah.
Right? And then we went up to the owner's booth that night. Oh my God. So the thing is that not only are we tied through our friendship, but our Boston sports, have kept us tied, where we just, we call each other week to week. You know what I mean? Whether it's the Celtics or the Patriots, the Red Sox are on fire right now. I love this team.
I love this team.
I love this team. We're good.
Just to bring things quickly full circle, Matt, your stepdad is my other best friend, my oldest friend back to third grade, Sean Norris, biggest Red Sox fan that I know. And
how is Sean? I miss him.
John's doing awesome. And your mom and your mom Donna is my wife Ann's dearest, our dearest friends. So it's just awesome seeing your success there, Matt.
It's been, speaking of success, Michael, we can pivot to the senior, because I think this movie is going to be really well received. First, when did this role come across? This is Mike Flint, 59 years old, the oldest college football player of all time. Week 1 of college football starts tonight. Great time to talk about it. But when did this role become a reality for you?
Well, my wife always jokes with me that, nothing ever comes easy for me in my career. I always have to fight tooth and nail for every role. But in this case, this is one of those rare things where something great just came to me. It came in the form of an offer. And I had vaguely heard of the story back in the early 2000s when it actually took place. But I wasn't familiar with the story. And this is one of those rare scripts, Matt, one of those diamonds in the rough that we always look for as actors. A great story told by great producers and filmmakers. And Rod Lurie, who's an Academy Award nominee, and Mark Ciardi, who produced one of my favorite sports movies of all time, speaking of Boston, is Miracle, right? The great hockey miracle of 1980. So I read it and I flipped out. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, a 59-year-old buck goes back and tries out for his college football team and makes it. What I love about the story is its humility too. It's not about him like becoming like an all-star and, joining at 59 and becoming this hot shit player. It's not that at all. It's about redemption. It's about him making up for his past mistakes. And if you meet Mike Flint, you realize this is a truly humble, amazing human being. He really is. And he made some big mistakes when he was a kid, as we all do when we're kids. And he always had that sort of monkey on his back that he wanted to get off of him, and he wanted to make good for it. And he had this opportunity, and through an extraordinary set of circumstances, he ended up trying out for his old college, his alma mater, which he didn't finish. He got thrown out in his senior year, the first week of college, for fighting. He was the captain of the team. They were supposed to go undefeated that year. And a freshman was out of the dorms after hours. He told the kid to get in. Kid told him to fuck himself, and he jumped him. And they got in a terrible fight. And the next day, not only was he thrown off the team, he was thrown out of college.
Oh my.
Now, at the time, he didn't realize that he was basically on a probation for 18 months. He just left with his tail between his legs in shame and never looked back. And he always held it in his heart. And some 35, 40 years later, all of a sudden he gets an invitation to a class reunion. And he's like, I've had to have gotten this in error. You know, I was thrown out. I didn't do my senior year. And his wife was like, no, they're looking for you. The boys always remembered you, love you, want to see you. So I want you to go down there and exorcise this from you. That's the first, 5 minutes of the film. Sorry for those spoiler alerts.
No,
but
yeah.
That's how it starts. That's the beginning of it. And, it starts from there. And it's really a remarkable story. And I love the humility of the story and the reality of it, because it's not just a bullshit. It's true, and this is what Mike went through. And it's, as you would imagine at 59, let me tell you something. I played like 90% of my football in this movie. I was 59 when I made this movie. I was the captain. I was the captain of my football team in high school. I started both ways. I was a fullback and a weak side linebacker.
Did you play for Coach Collins, Michael?
I did.
You played for Coach Collins. Wow.
Dick Collins was a great mentor.
Andover High Golden Warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that, man. All four of my coaches, Dick Bordelais and Mr. Vickers and Mr. King and Dick Collins were.
I think they've all passed, haven't they?
Yes. Well, it's Andover royalty. I mean,
yeah, royalty.
Those are the legendary.
And I was
coaches.
I was a captain for them. So a great joy in my life. I'll never forget it. By the way, where sports meets film, and this is something I always built bridges between, because I was a jock, but I was also a theater kid. So I built bridges between, the theater people and the athletes that I don't think ever would have been made otherwise. And it was beautiful. And the ties that I have with all of those guys to this day are extraordinary. And I have to say, every film and television show that I do, it's a team sport. It's 150 people getting together and trying to pull the oars at the same time, where it's a group effort. And the tighter the team, like I always use the Shield as an example, because that was 7 years of incredible friendship and a team effort. And it wouldn't have worked if we didn't collaborate so well. You hear all the horror stories about people not getting along in film and television, but the ones that are the biggest successes are usually the ones where people get along famously and they work hand in glove together. And it's really a testament to team, sportsmanship. And I was taught those things by Dick Collins and Bordelais and Vickers, and these guys. They not only taught us how to lose with dignity and respect for ourselves and for our fellow players, but they taught us how to win with dignity. I'll never forget one time we won a game and we were all gloating, and holy shit, Dick Collins just jumped us. He was like, "You won't do that." He lost his mind because he didn't believe in that. He was all class. He was like, "Hey, when you lose, I want you to hold your head up high, but when you win, I want you to go and shake your opponent's hand and have some dignity." And he taught us all these different values that listen, my parents were phenomenal parents. God rest them both. But there were certain things that I learned in that team experience that I didn't learn anywhere else. I learned from those men, and they've stuck with me. I'm going to be 62 in tomorrow, to day after tomorrow. Is it the 28th, the 30th?
Yeah.
And all these years later, I still remember so many of those moments. And that's what's beautiful about this film, to bring it all back to the senior. Anybody who's played sports at any level, male or female, you'll relate to this picture. Everybody who has family, which is everybody, will relate to this picture. I'm really going to go out of my way to promote this movie in a way that, I promote all the things that I do, obviously, but some are special, and this one's very special. This is one that I want people to see in the theater too, because it's a communal experience. Like, is it a movie that you could see in your television and you'd enjoy it? Yeah. But what was like, we showed this at a film festival about a year ago, and there were 300 people there, and they started, you know what I mean? They started screaming. They started yelling at the screen like they were at a sporting event, which is that's the kind of it evokes
awesome.
that kind of it is awesome. It gets you rooting. You can't help it.
And also for you getting a theatrical release, man, that is so exciting.
That's the other rare thing, because right now in the last decade, if you aren't a Marvel movie or a horror movie, like a genre picture, you don't get in the theaters. You go to a streamer.
Right.
But this group that produced this film really has always believed in the movie. Another thing that we got was the reason it's taken so long to come out is a couple of things: a pandemic, two strikes, and then also you never get this opportunity, Matt. We shot this movie 3 years ago, and 1 calendar year after we shot it, which is now 2 years ago, they brought us back to Fort Worth, Texas, where we shot the movie, because they had looked at the movie, edited, and they called me and they said, Michael, we love this movie, but the football isn't commensurate with the rest of the movie. And we want to go back and shoot a week of football and just get the football to be as hot shit as the rest of the movie.
More football, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and you never get that opportunity, another bite at the apple like that in an independent film. You just never have, producers who are willing to go and spend a couple more $1 million to do that. So they brought us all back out to Fort Worth, and we played football for 12, 14 hours a day for a week. And my eyebrows hurt. Like, I was, listen, man, I was 60 at that point, and man, let me tell you something. You're sprinting with 23-year-olds who just got out of Ole Miss and shit. And I mean, these guys played all Division II and Division I football, and they were animals. I did 90% of my football, like 3 or 4 shots that I didn't do, and thank God I didn't do them, because I would have been killed. This kid, I keep on talking about him, but he was the guy I did most of my contact with. He played at Ole Miss. His name was Willie Bell, and 24 years old. I'm a 6'3", 230, just a monster. And he goes, all right, man, bring it. And I brought it. I hit him with my whole life. And when I got up, he goes, no, man, you can bring it. And I was like,
that's all I got.
I hit you with my whole life. And he was nothing. I just bounced off of him. So all I know is there were a couple of shots where he had to clean my clock, and I let the kid do it because, it was from behind. And like 2 of those shots are in the trailer where he just absolutely cleans my character's clock. And I was like, the director looked at me and he was like, Michael, it's your back. You're in full uniform. Let the kid do it. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then when they did it, I was like, oh, whoa. Yeah. I'm so glad I didn't do that. I would have died. I would have been in traction. So, but anytime I was making the hit or we were hitting each other simultaneously, that was all me. I did all the training, all the sprinting, all that stuff. That's 100% me. And which I'm very proud of, because let me tell you something. When they said, Michael, you're wrapped, I howled because nothing broke.
That's good. You're getting great reviews, and we'll end it with this, Michael. Obviously, the Hollywood Reporter has seen the film. It gave you. What does it mean as an actor when? And I know reviews. You take them when they're good. You ignore them when they're bad. Like anything else in entertainment, it's eye of the beholder type stuff. But when you're trying to promote a film, how much easier is it to push a film when you know people are going to like it?
Well, listen. Reviewers have their place, and I respect them. They, and sometimes they get it right and sometimes they get it wrong. But the fact of the matter is they also sway opinion before people even get to see something. So you really hope that they'll respond to what, you've done, because you really, and in this case, I left it all on the field, really, literally and physically. So you hope they'll have a positive response to what you do, because they can sway public opinion, and I want people to come and see this movie. So I'm thrilled that already the early word from some of the majors are they see it. Yeah. They see the work and they see the movie,
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's, hopefully it continues in this way, because, people, the first thing they do is they look at the reviews in a lot of cases. And if this is well reviewed across the board, which I really truly hope it is, it's going to encourage more people to come see the picture. And that's just the economics of it. That's just the reality of it. Sometimes the audience gets it right, and sometimes the critics get it right, and sometimes they get it wrong. I just really, really hope that people go to the theater and see this as groups. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies you want to get like your whole family and a bunch of your friends, have some pizza and go to the movie and see that and yell at the screen and just enjoy it.
Love the comments across the stream from your viewers too. Yeah, we're picking up viewers, man. I love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are really psyched to watch it, who are going to go see the movie, Michael. So this was awesome. Dan, Michael, thank you for being here. This was super fun. I hope we do it again sometime down the line. Cannot wait to see the movie. The Senior is in theaters coming up on September the 19th. Go and check it out. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate all your time. Guys.
Go the Senior and go Bo Sox.
Good job. That's Michael Chiklis and Dan. Thank you, Dan McDuffie, joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. We pivot to a guy who's been waiting really patiently in the green room for us, hanging out. And you are muted. You muted your mic, DBro. You got to unmute yourself. But
I was just trying to be respectful, man. But I mean, how the hell do I follow that? I mean, I don't even know how I follow that, man. Big respect to his work. An actor I've loved for a long time. A lot of people out there, like The Shield is fantastic.
It is.
And has aged well. So people should go back and watch that.
Well, people were saying how good Michael looks. I'm glad they got a chance to see him, because I was we can do audio, but we need to see Michael. And then so I'm glad that it worked out. And a huge thank you to Dan for helping to facilitate.
It looks like he hasn't aged in 20 years. He hasn't,
man. Right? I mean, the bald head works though, right?
Smoke, for real. It's like Paul Rudd, Chiklis. You're like, why do I look in the mirror every day and I feel like I look older and these dudes don't age? How is that fair?
I agree. Amen. Amen to that. So, I mean, look, it's a movie that was shot in Texas. I think a lot of football fans.
I heard the Fort Worth shout out. I was like, oh, dude. I'm like, that's awesome. Right in my backyard, man. In
your backyard to go ahead and do that. So, I mean, obviously people know Michael from The Shield, and they know Michael from Fantastic Four and other things. But, now this is a football movie. And I think when you do football movies, especially if it's a good football movie, sports fans tend to remember. They go and it moves them, and they go, look, this is a really good film. So I'm really excited that is coming out on September the 19th for Michael. But thank you,
especially
to you.
Stuff with underdog stories. You know what I mean? Remember the Titans, this type of movie too. It's ones where you watch it and the end of it, you just walk away with a better feeling about, I don't know, life and humanity. Right now, in the year 2025, that's a good thing.
It's true. We have such negativity in the world that some positivity and walking out of the theater feeling better than you walked in is a rarity. Yep. So it's, I can't wait to see it on September the 19th. The movie will come out, The Senior, starring Michael Chiklis as Mike Flint, oldest football player at 59 years old. Would you play football, DBro? Would you?
No. Hell,
I'm 48. No. And I'm not sure I'm throwing pads on to go.
Dude, I'm 41 and I don't want to run out there. No. I could still go to the gym and lift heavy stuff, but dude, like moving, like having agility, and my ankles and joints are like, not having that. Not about that life, especially taking hits, dude.
Right? Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go out there and rip a quad or tear an Achilles. No way, man.
Or like me, you'll tear your pec and have to go get surgery done on it. So, which is where
you brought it up. I wasn't gonna go there,
which I'm headed tonight. And I wish I had a cool story. I wish I was like, I ripped my pec when I was like playing football or basketball. No, I just fell down the stairs. 3 bills
on each side, bench pressing 300.
I just fell down the stairs. So that's how I got injured. So yes, playing football would be probably a
I remember your story because I sent you like one of those I looked up on Amazon and I was like, do they have those little
socks?
Where you could get in the chair and it brings you up. I was like, you can actually Amazon that. So like I remember sending you that screenshot and I was like, he's either gonna love this.
It's great. No, it's hysterical. It's one of those stories that I'll tell after the surgery's over and I'm rehabbed. I'll be like, that was really bad.
If you can't burn your friends and sit here and get at somebody, I mean, like,
right?
Are you really friends?
Right, exactly. Yeah, you got to get after it. All right, let me ask you a football question here because we're past cut day. Tuesday was cut day. Anybody surprise you? Anybody that came across the wire that you were like, whoa, that guy got cut?
Not really. I mean, a lot of guys, like maybe some bigger names and stuff like that. There wasn't a whole lot of surprise for me of like, I think a lot of guys you could see like getting phased out or things like that towards the end of the preseason, or I thought they were bubble players. Like I thought like this is the last ride for Deontay Johnson. I was like, look, like if he's going to stick, he's going to stick. And then, kind of camp reports start coming out about how he showed up like out of shape and things like that. Now, you try to take that with a grain of salt, but like it's definitely not a feather in his cap. Right. So like when I saw him hit the wire, I'm not going to say it was a surprise, but like one of the bigger names as far as like players and stuff, but not a huge amount of surprises. I think right now it's more of like all of the trade stuff. And I think some teams aren't even done trading. Like once they sort out, the roster and all that kind of stuff, like I think we could see like, one or two still kind of pop off.
Interesting. When you see the situation involving Joe Mixon, which if you obviously you're heavily involved in fantasy and you're heavily involved in betting, you look at the back that was expected to be the bell cow. They brought in Nick Chubb, obviously, but it's a non-football injury that has taken him off the field for at least 4 games. And Nick Caserio, the GM, when asked about it, he's like, well, we're taking it day by day. It doesn't sound like they're expecting Joe Mixon back anytime soon. How does that impact the year for the Texans? And what are you hearing about Joe Mixon?
I have heard from people that I trust. I'm not a source guy. I'm not going to pretend to be a source guy, but I talk to some people that either know or are. And I've heard nothing good from earlier in the offseason. That's why, like, quietly, and if people have been in the FantasyPros Discord channel or have asked me, like, in passing and stuff like that, like I've told people what I know, and everything that I've heard is not good. So, I mean, I've tweeted it out previously. He's off my draft board, not doing anything with him in fantasy. Like, the answer for me in that backfield and the team, just in general, it's like I can't get super excited about anybody in this backfield. Like, where Nick Chubb is at in his career, it's great. I hope he plays awesome, but I just don't know if it's there. Watching his all-22 from preseason, like, he looked okay, got what's blocked, and if that's good enough for Houston, cool. Like, Woody Marks is not a player I was in love with as a prospect. Damian Pierce, it feels like I love him more than the team loves him. So who knows if he gets another shot. So really, like, the answer for me, Peralta, has been just invest more in the Houston passing. So, like, I think this is all going to live and die by CJ Stroud's arm this year, not the run game. It's going to be Stroud, the passing, and then the defense behind them. So I don't find myself like highly invested in the Houston backfield. And part of that also comes down to if you've got, I'm not going to say like marginal, but not explosive running backs for Houston, then it's going to come down to O-line play. Like, how well are they able to open up lanes? And I think we all collectively have a lot of questions about that offensive line right now.
All right, this is full disclosure. I know I had Michael Chiklis on, big Boston guy. I'm a big Boston guy. Your first play,
wasn't aware. Huh.
Your first play is the Patriots over 8.5 wins in the AFC East. This is not me.
I swear, I'm not pandering to the crowd. I promise. I did not make this up. So, like, we could just sit here and hold hands and just stroll down the betting brick road here. Like, I did not do that. Swear.
So why do you like the Patriots to win 8.5 games, which is plus money at most books? Because that's an alternative. That's an over. A lot of books are at 7.5 or 8. You like over 8.5. Pats go 9-8 or better. Why?
I mean, let's just walk the schedule, dude. Week 1 versus Vegas. Is that a win?
It better be. I'm scared to death about it, but I'm scared.
Well, same. But so let's book that as 1 win. Week 2 versus Miami. I think that's a win.
Okay.
Week 3, they get the Steelers. Fine, let's give them an L there. We're still sitting at 2 wins. Week 4 versus Carolina. You agree that's a win?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3. Yeah. Then they get Buffalo. Okay, that's a loss.
Yeah.
Saints, they're going to absolutely just crush them. So 4 wins.
Yeah.
We're already halfway, baby, and we're at week 6. So, I mean, so it's really like, okay, we got to parse out 5 more wins versus Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta, New York.
That's the thing. It's the schedule for me with the Patriots. Yeah, why I like that. That's why I can play.
Fantastic, man. Like, they can carve out a lot of wins out of this schedule.
Look, the New England media is notorious for being the most pessimistic and eat their own and just shoot everything right. So I was
not aware.
So I'm watching all of these people in the media when you're like, oh, you gambling people think that the Patriots are going to be good and their roster sucks and they have no depth and their coach is clueless and the quarterback isn't any good. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I don't know. Football people that I trust, people I talk to, really think that Vrabel is going to change the culture and the team. Look, they're not going to beat the Chiefs. They're not going to the Super Bowl.
No, I'm not saying they're beating the Bills. I'm not even saying they're beating the freaking Bengals and stuff or the Buccaneers. But the rest, there's a lot of giddies on this schedule, dude.
Right. And that's the thing. The schedule is there, and the Bills are going to be formidable, but the Dolphins and the Jets are both really gettable games. All 4 of those games are gettable for the Patriots. And yes, injuries will come into play and whatnot, but I think at plus money, over 8.5 wins for the Patriots to go 9-8 is not crazy, because 9-8 might miss the playoffs still, right?
Yes, 9-8 might miss the playoffs, especially when you get into all the hoopla of tiebreakers and seeding and all, head-to-head records and how all that kind of gets noisy very, very quickly when you have one of those like borderline type of win-loss records. So, I mean, this just comes down to I think the biggest driver of this for me is the defense and how good their defense improved in one offseason. Like, they are going to field arguably the best outside perimeter corner tandem in the NFL. Like, Carlton Davis, when he is right, and they are going to play a crap ton of man coverage, him and Christian Gonzalez are just lights out, dude. So, like, teams are going to have to pepper the middle of the field. They're going to have to, like, hopefully, maybe in their respect, pick on the nickel, because they're not going to get a whole lot of leeway. Like, if Davis is fully healthy and back to like 100%, which I know he kind of misses time every year and there's some high variability with that. So, like, I'm not even saying that he's going to play a full season, but mark me down for 12 or 13 games of Carlton Davis opposite Gonzalez. It's going to be nasty. And that type of coverage will help your pass rush too.
Right. Yeah. And get after it. In the AFC North, the Browns under 4.5 wins, all at plus 140. You are down on the Cleveland Browns. Why?
Because they're horrible. They stink. Like, I still like, I was scouring the books because I'm like, somebody give me some kind of like random prop line of how many quarterbacks start this year. Like, set it at 2.5 and I'm here for it. Like, I would hit the over with that. Like, I don't think Joe Flacco's going to be starting the entire year, so I think you're probably going to see some Dylan Gabriel. The question is, do you see Shedeur Sanders? I'm not going to rule it out.
Wow.
Like, this team is like, this is a lost year for the Cleveland Browns. And I know everybody keeps on social media posting Joe Flacco stats over his last blah, blah, blah games. And it's like, dude, the other reality about that is like, are we really going to prop up Joe Flacco at this part of his career? Like, where he's at as a player? And the reality is, like, he hasn't held on to starting jobs in the last few different seasons when he has had the starting job. Like, so that also is a talking point that kind of gets shoved under the rug. Like, this team, like, has numerous question marks. Like, fine, you might like some of the skill players, but defensively, they can struggle in multiple areas outside of like Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett covering a number of sins. Their offensive line went from top 5 to bad or worrisome, and very, very quickly with just injuries and age and all this kind of stuff all kind of coalescing very, very fast. So I mean, like when I'm looking at their schedule, you got 2 games against Cincinnati. They're not winning either one of those. You got 2 games against Baltimore. They're not winning either one of those. Then you got games like non-divisional games against Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota. They're not winning any of those.
Right.
San Francisco, they're not winning that.
Well,
Chicago,
2 games against the Steelers. I mean, and you can't just forget about
Buffalo,
the Steelers.
they're not winning that. Yeah, I mean, so like basically they're going to go 0-6 versus the division, probably at least versus those 3 teams. Like they're going to sweep them. So it's like, what games do we actually think they're going to win? Vegas,
right?
Maybe Tennessee, like. Yeah, give me the alt line. Like, I want this at plus money. I'm actually surprised, like, for the alt line, it wasn't at like 3.5, dude.
Well, and it's also because their owner, it's already been leaking out in the media, like we've talked about all summer, that the owner wants Arch. So they want the number 1 pick in the draft. So, and not to get Saban off the sidelines to coach the team, but to go get the quarterback that obviously he has a great tie to that family. So there's a lot of reasons why 3-14 is very possible for the Cleveland Browns this season. I know you have to run, so let me just real quick get you here on the Brian Thomas Jr. to lead the NFL in receiving yards, because that is a wild call. I love it. Why is he going to have that big of a year here? And if he does, that means Trevor Lawrence is a big year too, right?
Could be. I mean, what I go back to is this passing attack is so consolidated, and we have worries about, okay, how much offense does Travis Hunter play? I think it's more than the consensus thinks, but that's also a feather in our cap to, like, if he's the only, like, game in town. And but the other thing, like, then it helps Brian Thomas Jr. We want to be invested in talented second-year wide receivers. Okay, check and check. The other part about this is, like, when you look at the back half of last year with freaking Mac Jones tossing the ball, and I'm sorry, I'm a former Patriot here.
Fine.
But I think we could agree Mac Jones is not great.
Garbage, yep.
He was on pace for almost 1,700 receiving yards, 1,680 to be precise. That would have been second in the NFL behind only Jamar Chase, who just barely got above 1,700. So I know it sounds crazy, but like 6th longest odds, I think he honestly should be like 4th or somewhere higher up the totem pole, like closer to, I'm not saying like, but on the heels of like CeeDee Lamb and Jefferson and those types of players that are the clear alphas in their passing attacks. And it's like, I just don't see a way where Brian Thomas Jr., maybe he doesn't hit this number, but he is going to be very, very close in his second season, considering the constitution of this offense, Liam Cohen in town, and Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I don't even know if it's arguable at this point, having the best offensive-minded head coach that he's had so far.
Liam Cohen, see what he can do with it. My friend, have a phenomenal Labor Day. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for waiting out. I know we were late to get to you with some technical.
Dude, I just got in here because I didn't know how long Chiklis was going to be able to talk. So I was like, I'm just sitting here in the bullpen just with the arm worn, baby.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the long weekend. We'll get with you at some point next week. All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Is the one and only DBro, FantasyPros, BettingPros, joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Good to get him on for his conversation again. For DBro, he likes the AFC East bet of the Patriots over 8.5 wins at plus 105. The AFC North bet of the Browns under 4.5 wins at plus 140. And for the AFC South, Brian Thomas Jr. to lead the NFL in receiving yards for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't disagree with any of those, even though everyone really is trying to knock down the Patriots and what this season is going to look like. Variety of people are saying the roster is overrated and they're, everyone's picking it. I can't say I like the fact that ESPN Bet is reporting that the Patriots are their number one over bet liability. I don't love that. Doesn't mean it's wrong though. It doesn't mean it's wrong. So the schedule is a big reason why you can push back and look at Drake May. If he has a big sophomore slump, Patriots aren't going to be there. But if he develops, and if Josh McDaniels, who obviously has a pedigree for developing young quarterbacks, and all Josh has to do is coach the quarterback, and that's it. They kept the next in line young scat back wide out white receiver. They kept Efton Chisholm. They kept him. He made the team. Undrafted. This is Edelman. This is Welker. This is, Amendola, and now Chisholm. I mean, this is what they've done. Just saying. I find it hard to believe that if you're fading the Patriots, the reason is Drake May. I find that doesn't make a lot of sense in my brain personally on that. Okay. we got a lot more to come. I got picks all weekend. I got tons of college football bets to give you guys coming up on the other side. So if you're watching live, don't move. We got a lot more of BVB. If you are with us on the replay on Sports Grid, thank you for being here. I think we probably edited out. Hopefully will edit out the swears. I apologize if we were there, but Michael got loose, and that was tremendous. That was a lot of fun to have him on the program and have Dan on the program as well, talking about history. And I didn't think we'd get to Dick Collins, the legendary Andover High School football coach, came up. That was amazing. I haven't talked about Dick Collins for a long time, but we are continuing in bonus time. If you guys are on the replay, no show tomorrow, Friday. We are off for the long weekend. No show Monday. Back live on Tuesday night at Sports Grid. Thank you for watching on the replay. Come over to our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book to watch the rest of the show as we go with bonus time. Okay. So, sorry, you got a text message. That was a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed Michael and Dan coming on and being a part of the program. It's always funny because Instagram's like full of my family. So like, I was like watching the people on Instagram as it was scrolling. It was like my whole family. It was like everybody in my family started watching it. So that was a lot of fun to get Michael on to talk about the movie. And again, if you are looking for that, September the 19th for the movie, it'll be out with a theatrical release. And you can check your local listings for where the senior will be out for Michael Chiklis, but I will 100% be there. And what's cool about the 19th is that I should be, I'm technically on a plane on the 20th back. Now, surgery is on the 4th. I'm supposed to be, 72 hours of not doing anything, and then I can hopefully start to do work. And so I'm back on the following Monday, but then I'm not supposed to fly until they clear me, and my appointment to be cleared is on the 18th as of right now. That could move, but as of right now. So I could go get cleared on the 18th, go watch the movie on the 19th, and then I fly back to Vegas on the 20th. So that would be a pretty cool 3-day stretch if we were able to pull that off. Let's talk college football week number 1. Let's make some bets. Okay, I have so many bets here on Just the Picks that I've made my own slide. I normally don't make a slide, but I'm making my own slide on this, okay, to give you guys all the plays. Let's start with Thursday tonight. Cincinnati against Nebraska. Now, that number is not, well, let me pull up the latest odds just to make sure that that number isn't gone at 6.5. I have bought the half a point. And the reason I'm buying the half a point is because I don't want Nebraska to win by 7 and then I lose this. All right. It is stapled 6.5 everywhere. It's 6.5. I'm actually really surprised. I thought the number would go up. I thought we would get to 7 because I thought late money would come on Nebraska. That hasn't happened. Dylan Raiola is the wannabe Patrick Mahomes, and he met Andy Reid yesterday. I don't think this is a good thing. That like everyone's calling him the mini Mahomes, and now he's playing in Arrowhead. Matt Rule has had a track record of taking Temple and Baylor in year 3 and completely changing the entire team. Is he going to do that at Nebraska? Maybe. But the Huskers, until further notice, they suck in one-score games. And they also suck in their first game against a Power 4 or Power 5 team, depending on what you want to call it. They have a horrible track record of losing their first game in the Big Ten or losing their first game against anybody that actually plays real football. And since he plays real football, Scott Satterfield's not the greatest coach. Okay, I'll give you that. But the quarterback is going to run a lot tonight for Cincinnati. This is a home game for Cincinnati, which is really weird because they get 3/4 of the money. That's why they agreed to move it to Arrowhead. So they get all the money here for Husker fans going down there to buy the ticket and going down. Thank you on the Daily Juice, the 29 corridor to go straight down to Arrowhead tonight. I mean, there's going to be, last person out in Lincoln, shut the lights out because they're all going to be down in KC tonight at Arrowhead Stadium, tailgating probably right now. But I think Cincy keeps the game close, and I think they're going to have a shot to win the game, and they very well might win the game. I mean, I've seen every former Husker player. They're all running around saying this is the first double-digit win season since Bill Callahan. They're going to win 10 games. Maybe Bo Pelini won 10 games, but it's been a while since Nebraska's had double-digit wins. I'm not so sure that's going to happen. Huskers most likely win. I don't mind playing the over, but I'll take the points. I'll buy it up minus 130. We'll lay it here. Also, we'll take the points at plus 130, lay the 130 juice on Cincinnati tonight. Rutgers at home against Ohio. That should be minus 14.5, not plus. Excuse me. That's not written. That's a typo. Rutgers is laying 14.5 tonight up against Ohio. Big Ten power here. I think Big Ten power. I think Rutgers is going to run the ball and throw the ball at will tonight. I like the way the Rutgers ended the year. I think Greg Schiano's got a team that's going to upset some people, and I think they make a statement here tonight against Ohio at home in Piscataway. I like a big win for Rutgers tonight. I'll lay the 14.5 points on Rutgers up against Ohio. And finally for today, I'm going Boise laying 5.5. I don't understand why Boise, the money is coming in on the other side. It's on South Florida. This number also was 5.5. It was 6, and now it's 5.5. I don't agree with it. I think Boise. I love Maddox. I mean, I watched him play against UNLV in person last year. He's a thick kid. He's hard to tackle. I know no Ashton Genty. I understand that. But everyone's saying like South Florida in the heat in September, the kids from Boise are going to melt. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Boise just is a program of culture, and they've been good for a really long time. And I think they go down there and win by 10 points, and they take care of business tonight up against South Florida. And this is a game that Boise needs because it's one of those games out of conference on the road up against a, quote, Power 5 team that they're going to have to showcase, when you're going over a resume for a playoff berth. Like, you got to perform in games like this. You can't come out of the gate slowly at Boise and playing with a chip on their shoulder. Boise, minus 5.5 tonight. I'll lay it here with Boise to go ahead and roll with that. Okay, to tomorrow we go. Baylor is catching 2.5 points from Auburn. I don't understand. This should be a pick. Like, do we really know anything about either one of these teams? Like, how confident is anyone jumping in and saying, yes, let's go ahead and lay points on the road with Auburn? Really? No. Give me the points. Give me the home dog. Some books have gone to 2 already. I don't get the 2.5. I think Baylor at home team, non-conference, Texas. I know Auburn's hot as well in Alabama, but I think Dave Aranda's got a team, the defense. I'm taking the points. Give me the home dog. Baylor plus 2.5 tomorrow. Then the next game, Georgia Tech laying 4 on the road. Speaking of laying points, Colorado, I don't understand. Like, what are the Buffs going to look like? I mean, Dion missed so much time in the offseason. They got to replace a quarterback. They got to replace the defense. They got to replace Travis Hunter. I mean, there's so many players that have to be replaced on Colorado. And I don't think that's a good thing. I like Georgia Tech. I like their quarterback. I like the way they played last year. I like their moxie. I think they're going to give Georgia a game this year. I think Georgia Tech's going to be a sleeper. They're going to be a team that we're going to be betting a lot this year. I'll lay the 4 points. Give me the Rambling Wreck. Georgia Tech. They go to Colorado and get it done here on Friday. To Saturday we go, and I know everyone's going to go, wait, what? Yes, I am fading everyone. Give me the Buckeyes. Give me Justin Sayin. Give me this wide receiver core. I think Texas gives up points. Now, Arch Manning and company may go down there and score a bit, but the money that drove this down to 1 surprised me. This opened up at 3. It's been all Texas money. One-way action. All on Texas. Okay, when I start seeing one-way action in week 1 and I got a home team like Ohio State at home, you're telling me that Justin Sayin's going to play awful. Like that's kind of the only way. I don't understand it. Like I don't understand it at all. Give me the Buckeyes. Lay the 1. Ohio State -1. Second play, Alabama laying 14. Bounce back spot. I don't like Florida State at all. I didn't like him last year. I didn't like him the year before. Crimson Tide opened at 12.5. It's been bet to 14. I don't want it to go over 14, so take it at 14. But Alabama, I think, is a team. Ty Simpson, from what my Bama people are telling me, is they love the kid. They think the kid's played really well in camp, and Kalen DeBoer believes that he's got NFL talent all over the field, and this is a massive bounce back spot for Alabama, that this program's on a mission to essentially say, you forgot about us a bit too quickly. We got something to say. We're going to be a formidable opponent. We're going to beat up on some people, and we're going to be right back in the national championship conversation. I didn't bet a future with Alabama, but I will, and I am comfortable laying points with Alabama here. And for the Crimson Tide to beat Florida State, to beat them pretty soundly, Alabama laying 14. It's an important game for Kalen DeBoer. He needs to start to prove himself a bit. Have you guys watched the SEC show on Netflix, by the way? I'm addicted. I watched the first 3 episodes last night. Oh my gosh. If you're a college football nut like I am, and you love the SEC like I do, now I lived it, went to it, experienced it, 5 years of it. So it's a nice walk down memory lane. But my God, there's some good games and good coaches and good players. Brian Kelly comes off as actually like a likable person on that show, which is incredible. If you don't know much about Shane Beamer, you learn a lot about Shane Beamer, about him as a guy, as a dad, as a husband. He comes off really likable. Show's awesome. Like, show's absolutely awesome. If you want to get into the college football mindset tonight, and if you don't like any of the games today, you want to get ready for Saturday, that SEC show, Any Given Saturday on Netflix, from last year's season. Yes. Hey, yes. And then finally, LSU plus 3.5 on Saturday. I like LSU as a sleeper to win the whole damn thing. I don't like Clemson. I'm sorry. I just don't. I think you got to sprinkle money line. I think Nussmeier is going to have a big year. I think this could be the best team that we've seen under Brian Kelly. 9-3 is really possible. And Cade Klubnik, okay, what has this kid done that makes you go, oh my? And I know if you're a Clemson fan, I know the exact thing you're going to say to me. Well, Matt, look at the numbers at the end of last year, over the last 6 weeks. Look what he did. The ACC is trash, okay? Like, it's trash. This is an SEC defense. Now, LSU has been trying to fix their defense for 3 years now. They've been trying to find a way to fix their defense. Have they done it? Big question. But if they have, Clemson's in trouble because LSU is going to score and LSU is going to move the ball. Give me the 3.5 points. LSU plus 3.5 on the road against Clemson. Sunday, Notre Dame, Miami, standalone game. This is going to be awesome to watch. The Irish are replacing so much talent. Quarterback and running back and defensive backs and just, oh my. There's a lot, if you are an Irish fan, to be worried about what your team has got to replace. This number opened up at 2.5. It's been bet to 3. Some books have been bet back down to 2.5. What is Carson Beck going to look like with Miami? I don't really know, but I don't know anything about either one, right? I'm not sure if I know anything about either team. So give me the home team in the heat. A top 10 team in Miami against top 10 team in Notre Dame. We saw early in the year last year what happened with the Irish. They lost to Northern Illinois at home. Now, Miami's got to replace Cam Ward, but Miami's been spending and spending and spending and spending. Home dog, give me 3. I mean, once it went to 3, I'm like, give me 3. Give me Miami. I mean, I'm just, I don't know, Roger. Everyone says their coach is terrible. I don't know if Cristobal's terrible. I don't know if he's terrible. I think Cristobal has had some issues, in-game issues for sure. Notre Dame hasn't. No, I mean, come on now. So, like, this is sort of just like a number play for me. You want to give me a home dog at plus 3 with the, talent level is pretty similar between the two teams? Give me Miami. A lot of things went right for the Irish last year. And finally, TCU on the road against North Carolina. You got to shop for this number or buy this number down, but I'm fading Belichick. I'm sorry. TCU is going to have a good team. I don't like Belichick in the college ranks. Maybe he surprises everybody, but why? Like what? Why do you think he's going to surprise everybody? Why do you think he's going to work? Most of his peers believe this is going to be a horrendous experiment, that the Carolina folks are going to rue the day that they went down this road, that some guys are pro football coaches, some guys are college football coaches, and Belichick going back to college as the first coach to win the Lombardi to then go coach college since Bill Walsh did it, and he wasn't that good at Stanford when he did it. And I think it's going to be very similar with Bill in Chapel Hill. I don't expect much. I really don't expect much. I think we're going to see a win here for TCU. I think TCU kind of takes care of business pretty easily on Monday night up against North Carolina. So my college football bets for week number 1. Cincinnati +7. Rutgers laying 14.5. Typo. Sorry. Boise -5.5 for games today. Friday, Baylor +2.5 against Auburn, and Georgia Tech laying 4 on the road at Colorado. On Saturday, I'm taking the Buckeyes at -1. I'm laying the 14 with Alabama on the road against Florida State, and I'm taking the 3.5 with LSU on the road up against Clemson. Sunday, Miami +3 at home against Notre Dame, and Monday, TCU laying 3 on the road against North Carolina. A lot of people have been asking, is this the greatest opening weekend in the history of college football? You'd be hard pressed to argue that point in my mind. I mean, there is so much hype around these games. It's going to be an awesome Labor Day. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch college football. Cannot wait to get into it and to watch it. And it's going to be a lot of fun to be a part of all of it. So those are my plays for college football week number 1. I'm so happy college football's back. I'm so excited college football's back. It's absolutely tremendous. Okay, what haven't I done so far here? I think we did everything, right? We talked to everybody. We got Michael. We did everything, right? Yeah, okay. I think we're good. We're good there. We're good there. Well, I'll give you a couple of these on the way out. We got to go with both of them. We'll start with the number 1 team in the country. I love this. Jordan Hudson disapproves of my assessment. Yes, she would disapprove of a lot, but I also disapprove of her. So we're equal on the disapproval. Well, I don't think Ohio State laying 1. That's ballsy. Why is that ballsy? I don't think that's ballsy. I think that's, I don't know. I don't really understand. I like Texas. Have you seen what Ohio State has at the wide receiver spot? I mean, Justin Saying just can't suck. Like, just don't suck, kid. Like, as long as he doesn't suck. And Ryan Day's been really good with quarterbacks. So as long as Ryan Day still has his touch with quarterbacks, it's a huge game. But there's a reason why Texas is a dog. I'm stunned at everybody isn't all in love with Texas. Okay. I've been wrong. I'll be wrong a lot this year. I'll just, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe it's all hook 'em. Okay. And then I'm dead. But it's one game. It's one bet. I think people are a little bit overvaluing Texas here in game number 1. Give me the Buckeyes. It's really pretty funny. I have the fight song of a lot of teams that I've bet. Totally like random, but like we have Texas, Ohio State, fight song Friday. Sorry, cut myself off. But fight song Friday, Georgia Tech. JC from Casey, you can keep on asking for Rocky Top. I'll play it at some point, but Rocky Flop and Creamsicle you're just talking about me. That's a, I'm not a very big fan. I'm not a very big fan. So, Tennessee though plays in the SEC. So at some point we will 100% play it because we have to play it on a Fight Song Friday. We have no choice. But to play it. Okay, we'll play one more fight song here. Well, they have a big game, so we'll play it. I love how mad YouTube gets when I play these fight songs. We get like a cease and desist email every single time. Like, you can't do that. You can't play that. Why can't I play it? It's not appropriate to do that. Rudy Stinks. Hey, I know, I know it, but come on. Whoa. Penn State team total for all the marbles. You want to lay 44.5, Jeff Benny? Oh my. No strike, Sonic. It always says no strike. It always says this is not a strike against your account or your channel, but you can't do blah 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 blah. So we have to share the royalties, Jimmy Football. We don't owe them anything, but we have to share royalties with anybody that we're playing these things with. Even though it's all, I love when I grab like royalty free songs and they turn out to be not royalty free, which is fun. Oh. All right, all you guys are asking for it. I'll give it to you. That was for you. I feel attacked whenever you play Michigan's fight song. It's just, I mean, look, I'm so in on Michigan this year. I've got two big bets on Michigan. I'm so high on Big Blue, and like I'm not cheering for Ohio State, even though I do have a bet on Ohio State to go over their team total for over 10.5. But I mean, I'm loving Michigan. In Bryce Underwood, I'm loving it. I think it's gonna be a ton of fun. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to watch Vanderbilt, by the way. I mean, I can't wait to see if they could follow up what they did last year. Again, from that Netflix show, you see it. Like, go watch it and go watch the beginning, the first episode involving Vanderbilt, and you see why they were good last year. You're like, son of a bitch. These kids know how to play. Like, these kids are fired up to play. Like, their coach, their quarterback, all of it. I mean, Vandy they're fun. They're Michigan gets hammered this year by who? Not Ohio State. Not Ohio State. It's at Michigan, man. Disagree. Bryce Underwood's going to be a problem for Ohio State. It's going to be a problem for everybody. He's an absolute beast. So, for Chef Benny and for Dave, for that matter, here on a Labor Day, we'll end the show with this. Do I want to make a side bet? I will bet it the week of with you. One snap. Not right now. I have over 10.5 wins for Ohio State. I have over 10.5 wins. Sorry, I have Michigan to win the Big Ten, and I have Michigan to go undefeated. So I've already sort of like bet that game in a way. But week of, yeah. Just come find me week of. Come find me week of, and we will do that. All right, guys. No show tomorrow. Okay. No show tomorrow. I'm traveling tonight, so I will be back on Tuesday. So no show on Monday for Labor Day, and then we're back on Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, live from New Hampshire, and then we will be live, and then I will be off Thursday and Friday. I have surgery Thursday, recovery Friday, Saturday, Sunday, watching college and pro football and not moving and being high as a kite on Percocets or whatever the hell they give me after the surgery. And then hopefully back on Monday where you will see me permanently with my arm stuck. Everything will shift. You've always seen me look this way. Everything's going to shift to that way. And we're going to go and have to put everything on that side for the better part of 2 months until I get usage of my thing. And yes, I agree, Chef Benny. Get in the Discord channel, guys, because I'll be in there a lot this week. Okay. I'll be in there a lot over the next couple of days this weekend. If you haven't joined the Discord channel, thebvbshow.com. And if there's something that pops up, in particular, because I'm going to be sitting doing nothing, like I'm just going to be sitting for 4 days, basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doing nothing. I will 100% be in the Discord channel, and I may even host a Discord channel chat, an audio chat with you guys, depending upon if I can figure it out on my phone or not. I may be doing that coming up over week 1 of the NFL. So just heads up on that. There very well could be like a special show on our Discord channel with me chatting with you guys coming up here. Thebvbshow.com, obviously free to get into it, to be a part of our Discord. So looking forward to it coming up here in the next week or so. So cross your fingers. I appreciate you, Roger. Thank you for those comments. Thank you for saying that. I hope it goes well. I hope everything is simple with the surgery and we can repair everything with my pec and we can get it fixed. And, it really is the first 2 weeks is what they say. It's really the worst from a recovery standpoint. So basically the 4th to the 18th, or really that 2 week period that's why I can't travel. That's why I have to stay in New Hampshire and I can't come back to Vegas until the 20th. But after we get past 2 weeks, we start the real work for the rehab and the healing should be done. And I should be starting to feel pretty better. So I'll talk to you guys about what's going on. If I can't sit like the following Monday, if I can't sit and I can only if I can't sit for an hour to do a show or prep for the show on Monday, we may just do a live chat in the Discord and we'll do BVB on the Discord. That's a potential, but we'll come back for sure on Monday. I'll keep you guys up to speed as to what I'm dealing with. But Tuesday, live from New Hampshire, full show, normal Tuesday, Wednesday, and then surgery on Thursday. Favorite thing about today? Obviously, Michael Chiklis coming on the program. DBro was phenomenal as well. Really fun show. Thank you to Michael. Again, go see the movie. What it sounds, tremendous movie. The Senior, starring Michael Chiklis, about the true life story of Mike Flint, a 59-year-old who played college football for 1 year, the oldest known player to play college football. He was a warrior, and Michael is very proud of the film. September the 19th, check it out. That was awesome. Thank you to the Brigade for being here. Have a wonderful Labor Day. Be safe. Do not drink and drive. I want to see all you guys back here on Tuesday for a 1 o'clock Eastern start time for the Bostonian versus the Book.